His tongue go. Hello, everyone. This is Mr. Pritchard for another episode of Pritchard's podcast for civics. This podcast is going to be about non-citizens, which of course means that we've learned about citizens. So let's review what it means to be a citizen in the United States. There are two types of citizens in the United States: those who were born citizens and those who became citizens later in life. The first is the law of soil, which refers to the idea that anyone who's born on American soil is an American citizen. That includes any of the 50 states, Puerto Rico, Guam, any military bases or embassies or any U.S. property around the world. The second way to be a citizen, of course, is to be born an American citizen because of who your parents are. And so if your parents are both U.S. citizens, or if one of your parents is and has lived in the United States, it doesn't matter where you're born as long as they are citizens. Now, if you're not born an American citizen, you can still become one by going through a process called naturalization. People have been coming here from all around the world with the hopes of one day becoming an American citizen. From the time of our nation's beginnings all the way through to today, people have been arriving here in the United States with the hope of better life and opportunity, and then eventually becoming a citizen if they follow this simple process. The first step is to complete a U.S. citizenship application, and then probably to have to be interviewed. The second step would be to take a test that tests your knowledge of U.S. government and of history. The last step then is to take an oath of loyalty to the United States. So after all of that, a citizen who's been naturalized in the end becomes just like any other U.S. citizen. It doesn't matter if they were born here or naturalized, they're all the same. So now that we've reviewed what a citizen is, let's talk about non-citizens. And that means we need to talk about aliens. No, not that. Definitely not them. Maybe no. No, instead, aliens are foreign-born people who are in the United States. But not all aliens are the same, as we shall see. One type of alien is a legal alien, and what that means is that our government gives them permission to be here. Our government does that because it wants to encourage the best students from around the world maybe to come to our universities, which are considered some of the best in the world, to get degrees in computer engineering and technology, or maybe they'll become engineers, scientists, maybe doctors and nurses. But the whole point is to bring people with these kinds of skills to the United States in hopes that one day they'll stay here and become citizens. Our government also gives permission for aliens to live here if they have married an American citizen. So these legal aliens live in the United States, much like any citizen. These legal aliens have to pay their taxes. They can own property. They can hold down jobs. They can even send their kids to public school. What they can't do is serve on juries, or vote, or hold or run for any sort of political office. Those legal aliens who plan to live in the United States are known as resident aliens because they legally live or reside in the United States. Resident aliens usually intend to live here permanently with the hopes one day of becoming an American citizen. But to prove they have permission to be here, they must carry a green card, because that green card is proof that they have permission to be here, to live here, and to work here. Non-resident aliens, on the other hand, are those non-citizens who have permission to stay in the United States for only a short period of time. That oftentimes might be a business trip, or maybe visiting family that lives here, or coming over on a vacation. But they're free to move about the country as long as they're carrying their passport. The other type of alien is the illegal alien. And these are people that are here in the United States without permission from our government. They come here from all over the world in hopes for a better life, but they do so dangerously, sometimes coming as far from China in shipping containers or through the desert to try to reach the United States and cross over, look for jobs, hoping not to get caught, get sent back or deported to their home country. But those that don't get caught end up staying in the United States and working in low-paying jobs, tough jobs, long hours in fields or in sweatshops, oftentimes being taken advantage of by their employers because they're here illegally. Now, one group of people worth mentioning are refugees, and these are people who leave their homeland because they need to escape the danger there, whether it's war, natural disasters, or persecution from their government. They try to make it to a country like the United States for a better life. Cubans are a great example of this. They've been coming here since the 1950s and 60s, crossing shark-infested waters just about any way they can. And they're coming here because the Cuban economy has suffered for many years, and the Cuban government has not treated people well. Life has been very difficult for them. Well, that's the end of our podcast. Hope you've learned a thing or two about non-citizens. Thanks for watching and listening. Just remember, study your vocabulary, go over these words, review your notes, watch the video again, whatever you need to do. So long.